Hi, everyone. Welcome to another data journalism training. I'm Mike Riley, your trainer once again. In this exercise, we're going to scrape a data set, a little repeat of our scraping exercise, but then we're going to analyze it. And this is the Federal Highway Administration bridge inspection links. I've got the link to the actual data set here if you want to download that and use it. And here's the link to the actual website, the data set. And we practiced scraping with this in the first in the earlier chapter, I believe it was chapter 3. And now we're going to extract this data out of the table, and then we're going to analyze it. We're actually going to take the fair and poor bridges and add them together and divide by all bridges and see what percentage of fair or poor bridges are there in each state, and which states are the outliers, the highest and lowest. Pretty simple exercise, but a good way to learn. So this is the 2023 Federal Highway Administration's bridge condition by highway system data set. They put this out every 2 years. So there's a 2021 and 2019 that we used in previous versions of this textbook, Data Plus Journalism, which is coming out, the second edition in 2026. So you'll be able to buy it at rutledge.com. We have an accompanying website to Data Plus Journalism. We also have Journalist Toolbox, which is a resource site that you can go in and open up a page, and there's dozens of tools in here and with links to them, just short descriptions, training videos, and so on. You also have them with Data Plus Journalism, which is a blog that accompanies our textbook. So Data Plus Journalism, you'll be able to find all kinds of different exercises and additional materials that aren't in the book, and some really helpful resources. There's also a link there to buy the book as well. So take advantage of all those resources we're giving you for free. So the link to order the book is also on this handout. The Journalist Toolbox site link is there. And if you want access to this handout, I also have these links in the description of this video. You can go to bit.ly/datavideos2. So bit.ly/datavideos2, bit.ly datavideos2. And we'll go ahead and get started. I've given you the formula here to use for scraping. So if you've had chapter 3 under your belt, you know that this is the formula. Import HTML. We're importing hypertext markup language to a spreadsheet from the Federal Highway Administration database. Table, we're asking it to download a table, and 0 means just start at the top and scrape everything in that table down to the bottom. So I'm just going to copy that formula. And remember, I told you guys in an earlier chapter, if you want to open a new sheet, type in sheets.new, and the new spreadsheet will open for you. Sheets.new. It's a great little hack. And then, you can always go into File and, make a copy or download it or, move it to where you need it to go. So we're going to title our spreadsheet first. This is the Federal Highway Administration Bridge Inspections. So always want to title your spreadsheet because, if you need to go back and find the data later, searching for untitled document isn't much fun. So I've learned from experience. So we're going to scrape into this first sheet. Just paste your formula into cell A1. It'll stop me and ask this warning. Just click on the Allow Access button in the upper right corner, and your data will load. Now remember, we can't start analyzing the data in here because this is the scraper page. We talked about that in chapter 3. So if I start typing on here, it'll go haywire. We've got to copy this over in our very special way. So click in this little rectangle up in the upper left-hand corner, or hit Command A if you're on a Mac. If you're on a PC, it's Control C. And we're going to copy it, Command C. And then I'm going to add a new sheet. But before I do that, I'm going to label at the very bottom for sheet 1, which is the one I'm in, scraper. So it's a reminder to me or to anybody else that's working on my team that this is the scraper page because it can be updated, and we want to leave it alone. This is our original copy. So hit the plus sign next to where it says scraper, and that enables you to add a new sheet. And here's where we're going to go into cell A1. We're going to insert edit and paste special values only. So edit, paste special, values only. And now our data set has come in and it's been stripped of all the formula and all the scraping material. So we're just working with raw data. So always remember to do that, to get that formula stripped out of there, paste special values only under the edit pull down menu. So now I'm going to edit this, and I only want one row, header row. This one has two, and I know what the bridge counts are in here and the area in square meters. We're going to work with the bridge counts here for Alabama and then all the way down. We're going to add these two columns, fair and poor, together, and then divide it by all bridges to see what percentage of bridges are fair and poor in each state, and then sort it to see which states are the outliers, which has the most, which has the fewest. I should note too that this data set has all 50 states plus DC and U.S. territories, Guam, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico are in here as well. It does keep totals at the very bottom. So, you can either take those out or, add in a data moat, which you can go in and just do insert row above and kind of separates it out. I'll go in here and I'm always boldface my top row just so I've got it highlighted a little better so I know and you can see that it's a header row. They'll actually delete this one out. Edit, delete row one, and I'll boldface this row. Okay. So we just want the header row with all the one row of header images or header labels for each column. It'll make things easier when we go to sort and filter. I'm going to add one under column J, a new category, and I'm going to do percentage fair poor. I don't know about you. I don't want to drive across a bridge in fair condition or poor condition. So I've taken good out of the picture. Our bridges should be in good shape, but as you're about to see, they're not. And now I'm going to write a formula. Normally I would give this to you on your handout, but I want you to write this one yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to add columns D and E and divide it by column B. So it's kind of like playing Battleship. D2 and E2 add together, divide by B2. So the formula looks like this: equal sign D2 plus E2 divided by B2. Okay. And you're going to get a result here. Now mine has a suggested autofill button here. So I'm just going to hit autofill. And it does this in decimal points, but we'll convert it in a minute. If you don't get the suggested autofill, just double click on this little blue button down here and it will calculate everything for each column. So you don't have to redo this formula for all 55 rows. You just do it for one for Alabama and then it converts all the other rows using those numbers in the corresponding row, which is quite nice. So now we've got these decimal points. Those are a little hard to read. So let's click on the J at the very top of the column. And now we can go over and you should have a little format as percent button right here. If you don't, you can find it under the format button by going to number and percent right here. But most of us have this button in our default. So we can just hit percent. And it goes over 2 decimal points. I just want it to round up to the single digit decimal point. So 61.8, I like going 1 decimal point in. I could round it up to a full percentage, but I will give it, because there are a lot of numbers here and, some of them could be tied, or, very close together. If you round up too far, then, there's no separation between them. So you want to keep that in mind. So now we're going to highlight the entire sheet. Okay. And we're going to go into data. We're going to sort range. Okay. It has advanced sorting options down here at the bottom. Click on that. Your data has a header row, which it always should anyway. And we're going to sort by percentage fair poor. So we don't want to sort by state because it'll just keep it alphabetical. Percentage of fair poor. We're going to go Z to A. Z to A means largest number to smallest number. A to Z would be smallest to largest. And I'm going to hit sort. And we see at the top of the list, U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, 82 and 83% of their bridges are in poor condition, fair to poor condition. Rhode Island, 77.4, that's the first state, but they also have fewer bridges, than the others, and that needs to be taken into consideration too. But the bridges they do have are, in pretty bad shape. They have 120 bridges in poor condition, 485, 75, over 75% of their bridges are in bad shape. And you look through some of these other West Virginia, Utah, and actually, what's interesting is I've looked at their previous numbers in the 2021 study, and I think they're actually down about 4 or 5 percentage points, which is pretty interesting. I live in Illinois, so I'm looking for Illinois in here. Notice the data mode has kept my totals down here so they don't interfere with any of this. Illinois weighs in at 40. Now, you might want to, depending on how you're phrasing your story, you might not want to include these territories or DC. It's up to you to keep them or get rid of them. DC ranks about 21st, with right around 2/3 of their uh, bridges are in fair to poor condition. So, I would probably take them out, and then Illinois would move up to around 36th place. Guam is right down in here too. They have very few bridges, but what they have is in pretty good shape. We now have a story. You want to look at the outliers, the ones with the highest level. You want to localize it, find your state or maybe border states. And then you want to look at the lower outliers too. Only 1 in 4 bridges are in fair to poor condition in Georgia, a little over a third in Arizona and in Ohio. Florida is not doing too bad. But still, those numbers are still kind of scary when you think about, bridge conditions and people driving over them. There have been bridge collapses here, a big one in Minneapolis several years ago. We had a bridge buckle in Chicago on the Lakeshore Drive, Chicago River overpass. That buckled not long after we actually did a story on this with our student publication. So, and at the time, Chicago had 50, I think it was 51.4% bridges were in fair to poor condition. Let's see where Illinois is now. It's gotten worse, of course, 53.6. So they've gone up a couple of percentage points, almost, yeah, more than 2 full percentage points, which that's a story. You keep comparing this, and go back to 2019, 2017, because they do this every 2 years, 2015, and say over the past decade, our bridges are getting in better condition or poor conditions. These are all the different ways that you can analyze the data and come up with data points, keep them in a little diary and then work them into your story. Give the local angle, but also give the big national numbers too, maybe some border states, things like that. So you could also do this by just poor only, divide, column E2 divided by column B2, and just get the ones in poor condition, or, the percentage in good condition. If whatever you wanted here, you could get that. So this is, just a really good way to learn basic analysis using a spreadsheet. I did mention in an earlier chapter too that you can use large language models to analyze a data set, and we actually do it. We upload the data, the same data set, and ask it some basic questions. Which states have the most percentages? And it's really hard to tell if it's doing the math right. Here, you can check it and make sure it's getting it right before you just kind of run with an answer that ChatGPT or Claude. Claude is a really good at analyzing data. Before you just run with one of those answers. This is kind of the old school way of doing it. I think it's still probably the best way to do it until these large language models become even more reliable. So keep that in mind, as you're doing work with data sets like this. There are other data sets that you can extract yourself. We've got them listed in many of the chapters that if you want to practice scraping and analyzing them, and you can do this with budgets, all kinds of different data sets. So keep that in mind, that there are a lot of opportunities to analyze, scrape and analyze data sets. And this is just one of them. Hope you found this useful. We're going to have more training videos in subsequent chapters, so stay tuned, and thanks a lot.